It's time for the 2024 season of TPI the Podcast. Thanks for joining us. After the 2020 election, Frank Goodman became Dadeville, Alabama's first black mayor. In observance of Black History Month, TPI's Henry Zimmer sat down with Mayor Goodman to talk about what it means to him to be the city's first black mayor, as well as plans for Dadeville's future and a reflection on the mass shooting of April 15, 2023.
All right, well, welcome. I'm Henry Zimmer. We are here with Mayor Frank Goodman here in Dadeville, and we're going to ask him some questions about what it means to be the mayor. Mayor, are you ready?
As ready as I'm going to be.
Yes, sir. Well, Mayor, I feel like as we were talking about earlier, a lot of people know what, or at least think they know what the mayor does, but you've been sitting here signing a bunch of stuff. You had to run out for a second. What exactly does the mayor do during, kind of his weekly assignment?
A weekly assignment is I'm overseer of day-to-day operations.
Sure.
People's call me for all different reasons, even if it's just a trash can, but as the people's call, I go out, see what the problem is, see if anything that I can do or I can pass it on to the council to make things work for the citizens. It's 7-day.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 7-day, 24-hour thing. I get calls all time of night, all time of day. And a lot of times I can go out and solve the problem then. But a lot of times it have to go through different departments.
Sure, different
to
avenues.
to get the things, if we can do it, for the best that we can for the citizens. We do all we can. What we do is for them.
Right.
They elect us to do the things that they need done where they can get things that they need without going out of town. So we just do the best we can in doing all this.
And how effective do you guys think you guys are doing in that regard?
It's hard to say, but I do believe we are around 80% of doing what the people's need. Our main problem is finance.
Sure.
There's a lot of streets we got that need paving. There's a lot of gullage, water drainage that we need work on. And we are doing the best we can as we try to get grants to do the paving. A lot of times it takes a while to get a grant.
Naturally.
So from that, we just try to patch the roads, patch the streets. If we got water lines busted, or sewage, or whatever, trees down, we do what we need to do to keep the city rolling.
Yes, sir.
So, and that could be from a number of things.
And whatever that may be.
Whatever that may be,
sure.
We try to make it happen.
Cool. And then you've been in this position for a little bit. Do you have, something you look back on, you're like, I'm really proud we, did this, fixed this water line, paved this street, or is there just kind of a number of things that you're like, hey, I'm hanging my hat on?
From the time that I was city councilman for 8 years.
Sure.
And then I ran for mayor and didn't win the first year, but then after the next 4 years I got it. It's a lot of things that I look back that, we have got new businesses that is done popped up coming in that is going to save the citizen from going out of town. We are doing this, and come down to it, it is not as much as what I'm doing, it's what God's doing.
Sure, okay.
There's nothing can happen unless He make it happen. We have to send the request in and have that patience so He can make things happen. A lot of times, I don't always get praise. I get criticism nearly all the time also.
Everybody does.
Something that is beyond my control. But other than that, from 80% of the citizens around here, they seem to appreciate what we are doing, the progress that we are making, and we are trying to make things happen every day a little bit better so the citizens can have what they need here instead of going out of town to looking for it.
And keeping things local. I mean, that would probably be
Try to keep it local. we keep it local, keep businesses coming, and then our finances will go up, and then we will have finances to have better roads,
Sure.
better streets. We can give our employees raises. We can buy equipment. You need good equipment to keep everything rolling. So we just try to keep all of that in place, and 80% of that comes from praying.
Yes, sir.
And I do my share.
So everything kind of goes hand in hand for you.
Hand in hand.
Perfect,
It goes hand in hand. A lot of things that I can't make happen have to go through the council.
Naturally.
We have a good council. They let things, try to make things happen also. Each council person have their own district, and they bring in what their district needs, what they would like for their district to have, and we try to make that happen to best that we can. So far, we are doing, I say,
80% again, probably.
80%
Yeah.
again on that we are doing for the citizens. But it's all about the citizens. It is not about no one individual.
Sure.
It is about the city as a whole. And, you know, I want to say, I believe that the city of Dadeville is, in my opinion, one of the best there is. We have, you know, we had tragedy back here on that April the 15th.
Right.
But it seemed to have, it was bad, but it seemed to have brought us together, made us more stronger.
Yes, sir.
And doing this. It's bad it happened, but, you know, God don't make mistakes. And we are trying to do what he wants us to do.
Sure.
For one another. And that's what that's what I'm striving for.
And, you know, we wanted to touch on the shooting aspect. You know, that first day, I mean, you were outside doing prayer vigils. I mean, you were out in the streets, and you're shaking hands, kissing babies, doing everything. I mean, obviously, that's nothing you ever think will happen, never want to be in that position you have happened. But you know, were the mayor during that time. I mean, how did you kind of help navigate and help the city kind of come together, as obviously it has in, you know, the wake of all of this?
Well, like I said, when it happened, I was waking up that night about 11 o'clock, and I was from the hospitals to around town trying to see what the people's needed, to trying to consult them, to let them know, you know, it's bad, but
Right. We have to get through it.
we have to get through it. And in order to get through it, we have to pray.
Sure.
I mean, prayer changes things. And that's what I have tried to instill in working for the peoples.
Okay.
We listen to the people. We let them come in. I mean, we listen to them. We try to do the things that they want us to do. A lot of things we can't. A lot of things that we can't do right then that they don't understand, but we can do it a little bit at a time.
To work towards something.
You know, to work over. But a lot of them, they want it done right at that moment. And, you know, things, real life, it don't happen right at that moment. You have to take steps at doing a lot of things. A lot of things you can make happen right then, but a lot of things you can't. So we try to do the best we can with everyone, no particular person, everyone. We don't pick a certain group or a certain person. What we do for one, we do for other. So we just try to keep that going and try to manage what we got and keep everything rolling the best that we can. We have some good employees.
Right.
They get out here day or night in the rain or the cold, and they get things back rolling. So and we have a good police department, a good fire department. All this is a thing that we have
Sure.
that we are proud of.
Helps everything run smoothly.
That's the only way it's going to run smoothly. You know, don't know one person does it on their own. It takes a majority of people coming together as one to make everything work.
And obviously, you've been in, you know, city council. You're the mayor now. you've seen Dadeville change. I mean, a ton probably in those past, was that
Oh,
almost 10 years?
yes.
I mean, how big do you think it is that, this kind of Dadeville is booming aspect, that Dadeville is getting new city or getting new shops and it's growing the city, which in then turn can help you guys finance projects and whatnot? I mean, how big is that for this community?
That is real big. I mean, that is our soul.
Yeah.
And making this come together where we can have finances, where we can do different things, where we want our young people as they finish school, where they can stay here and keep things happening. Sure. Because we're the old generation. Sooner or later we're going to be out, and it's going to take the young generation to keep things happening. Absolutely. So, if we do everything the best that we can, and our young people see how we are doing it and all, and then we just pray that they go ahead and just fall in place when they have to and keep things rolling.
Cool. And then I wanted to kind of shift a little bit. We were talking about kind of Black history earlier. Did you know going into the 2020 election that you were going to be potentially the first Black mayor of Dadeville?
Yes, I knew if I got it, I would be the first Black man.
Did that mean anything to you? Was that any kind of driving aspect?
Yes, it does. It means that we as a whole, as peoples, not just Black peoples, all peoples, that we are changing. That we now can be as, whether we are Black, Black, white, whatever. Puerto Rican, whatever, that it don't make a difference what color your skin are, what religion you are. If you in it for the right reason to make this city grow, then it don't make no difference who you are or what you are. And you got to have the love of God in you.
Sure.
Because without Him, don't nothing happens.
And obviously you're a pretty religious person. I mean, how big of an aspect do you think that is to maybe you yourself or this community too? I mean, obviously, that seems to be a big thing in your life.
Well, yes, because, everything revolves around God.
Sure.
And if you have a personal relationship with Him, then you know what you have to do. You have to go to God and ask Him to do things. And a lot of times He don't do it when we want Him.
Kind of like the mayor.
Yes, but He's always on time. He's never late. He never lost a case. He is, He's the head of my house. He's the head of my life.
Yes, sir. I know you said it's about everybody, but to have a Black figurehead like yourself, somebody that is the first of their kind, do you think that's an important thing for people to see, especially kids growing up, being like, oh, I can do this. It's not out of my reach potentially.
That is correct, because even though the times has changed and times are changing, we still have evil in the world. And as our young people is growing up, you have someone would say, well, you can't be this because you're a certain color. You can't do this because of this. No, that doesn't work. We can do all things if we put our trust and our faith in God. And then we go ahead and we study, we go to school, we do all we have to do, and we never quit. We never give up. You just keep going and going after it, and things will happen.
And it all work itself out.
It all works itself out. It always does. But you got to have that determination to do it. You can't let a negative thing come in there and change you where you will stop and say, look, I'm not going to do this. Everybody's against me. No. You got to keep trying. You got to keep going on, because if you don't, then anybody can discourage you from being what you want to be.
Right.
Keep at it. Keep doing. I mean, I didn't like school either, but I had a parents that made me go, and I'm glad they did.
Right.
The thing is, we have to bring our young peoples up in a way that they won't turn and go the other way. We have to be firm with them, and we have to be honest with them. We cannot do certain things around them. You do something negative around them, then they're going to catch on. We have to be parents. I'm a grandparent and a great-grandparent and a parent. So I have had dealings all the way up.
Absolutely.
I'm proud of my family, and it is something that it's a feeling that you have that is hard to describe. It makes you feel good on the inside that you can bring a person from a baby up to a full-grown person, and then they are doing good instead of being out here as a gangster.
Yeah.
It's hard.
No doubt.
But nothing in this life is easy. We have to keep moving forward. We have to keep reaching, and when we grab onto God's hand, never turn to loose. Because it all boils down to our relationship with God.
Cool.
And that's something that I believe in. That's something that I have personally found out. I went through Vietnam. I wasn't a member of a church, but my parents and grandparents had taught me, if you want something, then you ask God for it. So, but I'm a member of the church now. Matter of fact, I'm a deacon in the church.
Right.
But, I just believe in treating all people's the same. We are all God's children.
Yes, sir.
Why, it's sad that we can go out and hurt one another, do things against one another, sell our children or get other people's children and sell them. That is something that I don't understand, but the devil works. The devil is real. So I just try to keep my hands in God's hand. I try to let my family do the same thing. You can raise children up to grown, but then after they get grown, you can't make them do nothing. It's that growing up, that learning that you have trained them from up, that they will fall back home.
Cool. Well, Mayor, it's been wonderful speaking with you.
Thank you,
Henry,
sir.
This is Mayor Goodman, and thank you very much for watching.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of TPI the Podcast, a production of TPI Media.